Well, it's Friday and it's the end of the week. Let's check out MSTY and see if we were up or down to end the week. Hello my friends, this is Legend. Today we're going to go over MSTY, and as you can see, the distribution rate for today is 94.37%, and this rate does change daily. So let's just go right over to the Webull chart and let's see where she ended up for the week. Okay, so here we are on the Webull chart, and we're looking at MSTY, MSTY. And as you can see, we do have a red candle, but do note it did go up today. So sometimes just looking at the color of the candle, you're not sure exactly which way it headed, right? So it is down from the open to the close of the day. Therefore, it is a red candle. But from the close of yesterday to the close of today, it is up 1.58% or 32 cents for the day. Was super happy to see it back up above that $20.38, as that was that red line that I've had drawn in there for quite a while now. Super happy to see it up above that. We did have some red volume, and that's why we've got that red candle, of course. But like I said, we are higher than the close of yesterday. So we did end out today at $20.59. A little bit of red momentum here on this bar, and it did increase that red momentum just ever so slightly. And it looks like we do have a slight turn up on the RSI. So a lot of mixed signals here. And of course, this is all playing off of MSTR. But before we go over to that, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. It would be much appreciated. But while we're still here on MSTY, let's go ahead and switch the chart to adjusted, and let's check out a few of the indicators. Now I use the indicators even on MSTY here because it really kind of represents what MSTR is doing as well. So let's go ahead and switch over, and we'll put it on the adjusted chart here, and done. And there we are. So now we do have the adjusted chart showing, and let's go ahead and turn on that Bollinger Band. And as you can see, we are still on that lower half of that Bollinger Band. We are still kind of flat on that MACD, and the RSI, like we said, has turned up just ever so slightly. And if we slide right over to MSTR, we're going to see something very similar. So let's just go ahead and do that. And here we are on MSTR. And as you can see, same way, we did have a little bit of a red candle because it did close below the price that it opened. But it did have an up day because it was higher than the close of yesterday. And in this case, MSTR went up 1.54%, and MSTY was up 1.58%. So you gotta love that. Looks like we captured all of the up movement of MSTR inside of MSTY as well. So that's got to put a little smile on your face for that, for sure, right? But on MSTR here, we are on that bottom half of that Bollinger Band, and that RSI, the same as MSTY, is turned up just ever so slightly. We still have that red momentum, but still, if you look at it, it's pretty flat. The negative momentum is decreasing, but just ever so slightly though. Now we had a couple support lines in here, and this one here being the first support line for MSTR, and that's at 358.50. And right now we are playing within this range between that 358.50 and roughly about 403.90. Would love to see it to keep going up and break out and start testing some of the highs here. But I think we all would love to see that. So currently for me, MSTR and MSTY, I'm still waiting for it to come down a little bit more before I buy some more shares. But that's just me. You have to make your own decisions of when you buy, and I have to make my decisions of when I buy. Now, I did purchase a few shares on the X date, so I will be updating my spreadsheet this weekend, and I'll do a video on that as well, and we'll be able to see where I stand with that new purchase along with the distribution that we did get paid out today on. So stay tuned for that update to that spreadsheet, as it's always exciting for me because that's just meaning that I just made some money. So I don't know about you, but that's why I'm in MSTY. But to better understand it all here, both MSTY and MSTR, they are Bitcoin plays, right? Because MSTY uses MSTR and MSTR owns a lot of Bitcoin. So therefore it is subject to change as Bitcoin changes. And as you can see, we did pop back up to about 104.4K currently. So it is 1.8% up from yesterday. Now yesterday we had that big, huge red candle, but do notice by the end of the day, you have that big long wick on the bottom of that candle. And I'll try to zoom in so you can really see it. And as you can see right here, you can see that purple long wick right here, as it did drop all the way to 100.3K, but ended up closing for that day at 102.5K. Now that big long wick, what does that mean? Well, that means that there were some buyers in this whole area of that wick, because that's why it pushed back up to here. As you start getting some buyers and some buy pressure here, it shoots that price back up, and therefore it leaves that wick, because that price got all the way down to here but then ended up coming up to here and closing, right? So that means that we had some buyers in here, and that's a good thing because that kept it from going below that 100K. Not saying that it won't eventually, but I sure hope not. I would love to see it to continually to move on up, keep the volatility, but overall, just don't go up too fast. Because then on MSTY, it will shoot past our calls, as that is a con to selling calls on a stock or ETF or anything like that. You are capped on that upside. But as you can see, then once it opened on today, we've had a nice little move up. It got as high as 105.4K, and like I said, we're sitting at 104.4K currently. So I'm happy with today, happy with that move for sure. So how about you? Did you purchase any more shares of MSTY or any of MSTR? Or did you put a slight pause just because it was an up day? Just curious. For myself, I prefer to buy on a red day than a green day, but that's just me. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, smash the like button. And I also wanted to give a big thanks to everyone who has made comments below the videos and who continually to support my channel, whether it's through the super thanks or buying me a cup of coffee for the access to my spreadsheet. It is all much appreciated, and I just wanted to say thank you. But as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.